Hello, my name is Hope Turbert and I am a staff attorney in legal services of the Hudson Valley Spring Valley office. I'm going to discuss the rights of special education students and their parents during the unprecedented extended school closure caused by COVID-19. I will also provide some general recommendations for parents in navigating their child's educational program during the closure. I would first like to acknowledge that this extended closure is extremely difficult for everybody. School administrators are navigating completely uncharted territory. Staff are asked to creatively and flexibly provide services to students from home while also juggling their own families, and parents are forced to become teachers, therapists, and many other things while also being a parent and perhaps even working from home. Understanding, flexibility, and compassion are needed during this difficult time. Although this event is completely unprecedented, we have received some guidance from the United States Department of Education that even during this COVID-19 pandemic, school districts still must provide a free, appropriate public education to students. The US DOE has stated that all students are entitled to equal access to education during COVID-19. This means that if your school district is continuing to provide education to the general education population, then your child with special needs is entitled to continue receiving IEP services. If a district is unable to provide such services, then once school reopens, you may make a claim for compensatory education to make up for the services that were lost or missed. Here in New York, the guidance from the US DOE is going to be followed. New York has also issued amendments to the special education regulations to provide both parents and schools more flexibility during this time. Some of those amendments include waiving the requirement for schools to be open for 180 school days during the 2019-2020 school year. Another amendment is that impartial hearing officers can now hold due process hearings remotely, and they can take virtual testimony and virtual evidence. This will allow due process hearings to continue going on virtually during the closure. Preschool providers are also authorized to provide makeup services to students 30 days from when schools end up reopening, providing more flexibility for preschool providers and preschool students to make up lost services. Virtual learning, including virtual therapy, is being provided to many students in New York. The New York State Department of Education has issued telepractice guidance for the use of virtual therapy for both preschool and school-age children. Many school districts and related service providers are utilizing technology such as FaceTime, Zoom, and other online technology to deliver related services virtually. This can include anything on your child's IEP, such as occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, and ABA therapy. If your school district is not offering virtual therapy for the services listed on your child's AEP, you can contact your special education department in writing and request virtual therapy. For children aged birth to 3 who receive early intervention services from an IFSP, the Department of Health in New York State has approved virtual therapy for these children as well. If you're not receiving virtual therapy for your early intervention child, you can contact your service coordinator and request virtual therapy. At this time, we are still waiting to hear from Governor Cuomo regarding summer services in New York. So far, schools have been ordered to remain closed through June of 2020. And if your child is entitled to receive extended school year services on their IEP, we don't know yet whether that will happen this summer. However, we would expect if schools remain closed past June that virtual therapy should continue over the summer. If your family lacks access to technology, you should contact your district and arrange for technology to be provided. Additionally, if your child was receiving free lunch during school, then they should still be receiving a free meal from the school district during the closure. Again, contact your district to learn about how that is being provided. Finally, I would like to provide some general recommendations to parents of children with special needs during the COVID-19 school closure. First, be flexible with your district and your child's providers in terms of scheduling. as everything is new to everybody and everyone is adjusting. It's going to take flexibility and creativity to figure out how to get the services to your child. Keep a daily log of your child's services or their participation in online learning. Try to keep track of your child's progress and also any areas of regression you might notice, as this will be valuable information to provide to the CSE when schools reopen. Do not be afraid to communicate with staff if you have ideas of how your child might better access the services, and just keep an open line of communication at all times. If virtual therapy sessions are not working, you can also explore the option of consulting with your child's teachers and therapists and learning ways that you can implement exercises or activities at home. If your child is due for an annual review CSE meeting, the CSE meeting should be held remotely and you should be invited to participate virtually. You still have the right to have an advocate or attorney join in the meeting if you wish, and you still can record the meeting if you provide advance notice of your intention to do so. If your district asks you to amend your child's IEP without meeting, you can ask the CSE to meet to discuss the proposed changes virtually. You can also inform the district in writing that you will accept remote services during the closure with the understanding that the CSE will convene to discuss possible compensatory education when school reopens. This is a difficult time for adults and children alike, and you can and should utilize free virtual mental health assistance for both parents and children as needed. For younger students and children on the spectrum, social stories can be very helpful during this time. You can find free resources online to download a social story about what is the coronavirus, why we need to stay home, and why we need to wear a mask. I hope this information is helpful, and I hope that everybody stays safe and healthy during this difficult time.